What's going on, folks? Rick here. I'm back with another video. I'm here to do something that has been plaguing me for the past few weeks. Which one of these devices do I think works best for me? And I'll go through some of the issues with both of them and some of the pros and cons of each of them, and basically tell you what I think I'm going to wind up doing with these devices. I will let you know you won't be disappointed either way. If you go with one of these are great, excellent devices at a great price point. So real quick, let's get into this matchup. Both of these have a 120 hertz refresh rate. Both of them are blazingly fast. Scrolling, no issues, no problems in scrolling whatsoever. Okay, sorry. Maybe I should have picked something else. Here we go. Scrolling, blazingly fast, no issues. I will tell you though, I do notice that the OnePlus 8T is a bit faster in scrolling. Both of them have a 120 hertz refresh rate. However, this has 6 gigabytes of RAM. This has 12, double the RAM, and you do see it. This does scroll a little bit faster than the Samsung S20 FE Fan Edition. So that's something to think of. This is just blazing, and this is just super fast. This is blazing though. So in that regard, I will give it to the OnePlus. I think the OnePlus is just a lot faster, and you can just see it. Like there's no lag whatsoever. And this one's just a little bit slower. No lag, but just a little bit slower. So 120 hertz refresh rate. Both of them are amazingly fast. So let's get into the next thing. We're going to get into the optical fingerprint reader. So typically Samsung goes with the ultrasonic. With this budget-friendly device, to go with the optical reader. I'm a fan of the optical reader. I think the technology is there. I think it works a lot better. I think it works a lot more reliable than a ultrasonic fingerprint reader. So I'm glad Samsung went to that with this device. But both of them are they just work flawlessly, no issues. Let's try them both out. Oh, there we go. It's kind of hard at that angle, so I'm not gonna give that a nick, but they're both working. And I just both put tempered glass screen protectors on both these devices today. I did recalibrate the fingerprint sensor, so it's not that I didn't do that, but they both work 99% of the time without any issues. So fingerprint reader, optical fingerprint readers on both of them. So the next thing we're going to talk about is display. They both have an amazing display. They both have a Samsung panel on it. They're both super AMOLED. Samsung's, I believe, is a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more brighter, and just not brighter, but more vivid. I do have to admit, this one does go bright. This one goes to 120 nits. I'm sorry, 1,100 nits, and this one only goes up to 600 nits. I haven't noticed any real issues with brightness, to be honest with you. Brightness on the Samsung seems to be just fine, but this does go a lot brighter in that regard. So I will give that to the OnePlus 8T in the brightness category. But in overall display, I think the display is just so much better, so much crisper on the Samsung device. So let's just pull something up there. So the Samsung device here, I just think has a better display. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about, which is a key situation, and this is where I've been stuck for a while in going left to right on which one should I go with. Camera. Okay, so just did my review of the OnePlus 8, and I did my review of the Fan Edition. So camera quality on the OnePlus 8T is where it starts to falter. the OnePlus 8T has the same camera setup almost identically from the OnePlus 8. So I'm going to turn around on the back real quick. You have your quad camera setup. You have a monochrome, you have a telephoto, you have a wide angle, and your standard camera with 2 flashes. All right, over here on the back, you have standard camera, wide angle, and you have a telephoto as well as a single flash here. So let's get back to these 2 pictures. So getting back to these 2 pictures here. So getting back to these 2 pictures here, I think you could see a clear winner of camera and quality. This is about a 9x zoom. This is a 10x zoom at this point. So when I initially took the photo with this, it came out clearer, but when the actual system itself processed it, super grainy, super yellowy, you know, it has a yellowish hue to it, and this just looks so much more vibrant and vivid. You could see the colors. The colors on here are spot on, and this just makes this piece that I'm looking at here that is gold look yellow, and over here you could clearly see that it's gold. So if camera is definitely a huge focal point for you, I want to say go with the fan edition in that regard. And this is like the Achilles heel of the OnePlus 8T. It is the cameras, and I'm sadly to say this is such a great device, and it sucks that it has this issue, but it does. So this is the wide, no, I'm sorry, here's my wide angle. So 2 different wide angle shots. They're not taken identically in the same exact spot. They may be off a little bit. This is the wide angle. You see some cropping in here. The wide angle isn't as wide as the Samsung's version. Has a bigger field of view for the wide angle. As you can see, you see the frozen tissues there. You see more of my little sign here to subscribe and view my videos here at my desk. So I do still have to give the wide angle camera a plus on the Samsung Fan Edition as opposed to the OnePlus 8T. And again, with the wide angle, I do notice some yellowing. You can't see it here, but when you have it on the clear white background, you do notice a bit of yellowing with the wide angle as well. And then we have here the main sensor, which I think is the best sensor of the OnePlus 8T. It takes the clearest, most accurate pictures that I find out of all of the sensors. The monochrome sensor that it has, it's like buried in the settings. It's like the last thing in like all the features of the cameras. I think they just added it to say they have 4 cameras. It's a 2 megapixel camera. It sucks. This one looks a little bit out of focus, but again, more true to life color accuracy. This is just a bit dumbed down, and I just find the camera setup on the OnePlus 8T to be far inferior to the Samsung FE. So again, if camera is your bag and that's what you want, and I always said that camera is one of the key pillars of any kind of device. You need to, most people, they just point and shoot their camera on their cell phone. They want to take good photos. People want good photos, good battery life, and a great screen, and be able to make their calls and surf the web without any issues. And for the most part, you'll get that with both of these, but the camera aspect will be a main issue. So now, here's an aspect now where OnePlus 8T really shines and Samsung is really like falling behind, okay? So the OnePlus 8T offers a 65 watt fast charger, the fastest charger on the market now in the United States. It can charge your phone from 0 to 100 in less than 30 minutes. That is insanity. That is just like crazy fast. And that fast charger, I've tried it, I've used it. It's one of the main reasons why I initially went with this as opposed to the Fan Edition, because at first glance I did not want the Fan Edition. I wanted this for some of the key features that it offers over the Fan Edition. But 65 watt super fast charging, in 0 to 15 minutes you could get like close to 50% In 0 to 20 minutes, you can get about 80%, and from 20 to 30 minutes, it's a full charge from 0 to 100. So I'm definitely a huge fan of this. The OnePlus, I'm sorry, the Fan Edition here, they really dropped the ball with that because this charges at 25 watts, which is okay, but they only have a 15 watt charger in the box. Now, OnePlus, it could charge 65 watts. They gave you a 65 watt charger. Samsung, they should have went with a 25 watt charger. You're paying a decent amount of money. It is more on budget friendly, but still, you're paying enough money that they should throw a 25 watt charger in the box. Stop doing a la Apple and not putting in the capabilities of the phone. If they could charge up to 25 watts, put a 25 watt charger in there. Now, let's turn these phones around to the back, okay? So, sorry if you see a little bit of fingerprints here, but anyway. So here's another place where I believe Samsung has really dropped the ball. This is one of the main reasons why I decided not to go with Samsung initially and to go with OnePlus. So this device is $700. This device is $700 currently. That may change in the near future. This has a plastic back. This has a glass back, okay? Both of them have an aluminum frame, so rigidity is not a problem, but just from an aesthetic standpoint, glass back, plastic back. So some people, I heard them say on YouTube that this, you know, mimics like Glastic or a frosted glass. It does not. It feels cheap. It feels cheap to the touch. When I first touched it, I was shocked at how hollow feeling it was. And this for me was one of my main sticking points of why I didn't want to go with Samsung. Even though at this price point they could get away with it, but they can't get away with it when the competition is at the same price point, offering more features, offering more things, more bang for the buck. You needed to throw a glass back in there. I'm very disappointed in Samsung that they didn't do it. I do have a case for it, so 99% of the time I probably won't take it out of the case and I probably won't feel that plastic back, but still, I know it has it, and it could have cost them an extra 10 cents per device, charge me an extra $5-10, and I would have definitely went with that that scenario as opposed to having a plastic back. So big fail on Samsung. But now that we are at the back of devices, this has wireless charging. This has reverse wireless charging. This does not. Do I find that to be a huge issue for me? I do not, because you have that super fast charging here. You have that charging from 0 to 100 in 30 minutes, 65 watt charging. If you would have had a 15 watt charger, yes, nick them for that. But it has a 65 watt charger. I use wireless charging. Do I use it often? No. But if it's around, I use it. If it's not around, I don't use it. And I prefer to use my wired charger anyway. So it is a negative, but I don't think it's something that most people will really get upset about because of the fact that it has a 65 watt charger. Okay, so let's go back around to the front. Okay, wrong finger. All right. So we're back around to the front, okay? We went over charging, we went over displays, we went over a lot of things, a couple other features. So this offers, like I mentioned earlier, 6 gigabytes of RAM. This offers 12. This out the box has 256 gigabytes of storage, non-expandable, but this offers 128 with expandability. Whatever floats your boat, I'm gonna call that a bit of a wash here. This has more, but you can't expand it. This has less, but you're able to expand it. So I'm just gonna call that a wash, you know what I mean? Either way, I can go either way with more internal storage or less with expandability capabilities. So I'll just call that a wash. Now we're gonna go through a speaker test. Both of these guys have stereo speakers. So let's just see what we can pull up here. I have some non-copyrighted music queued up. Let's go to, all right, whatever. All right, so let's see. Let's tap that again. Okay, I want to get it at the same exact point. Non-copyright music. Okay. No copyright. Okay, so we're gonna start out. Let's see. Okay, starting out at 0. We're gonna go on the Oneplus to about 25%. Are you kidding me? All right, let's start out. You know what it is that I'm getting used to the button configuration on different devices. All right, this is about 25%. Let's go to 50. Damn it. Let's go to 50. 50. Let's go to 75. Okay, now this is 100% on the Oneplus 8T. Okay, and 100% on the FA. So it's kind of hard to hear through a video, but I'll just give you a quick impression of which one do I think is louder, which one I think is clearer. I think the FE is quite a bit louder than the Oneplus 8T. Not saying that this is a low stereo speaker device. The stereo speaker is very loud on this. They're both very loud. This is louder. I found in the 0 to about 25 to 45% range, this seemed initially to be louder, but then when you started getting up to the 50 to 75% range to 100%, it was a clear, louder, fuller stereo speaker setup here on the Samsung device. So Samsung will eke out the win in that regard. So all in all, there are some things that I just love about this, and there are some things that I love about this. And I think there are more features that I love about the Oneplus 8T. However, I really find myself always going back to the Fan Edition. And I had a week to play with this device. I had about a week to play with this device. And I am a Samsung user, so I may be a little bit biased, but this just seemed to work just like flawlessly for me. Like, things just seem to work the way they're supposed to work. With this, I had some software hiccups. With this, you know, the camera was pretty subpar and mediocre. But you know, the memory, 12 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage, and that super fast charger, it's like such a compelling argument to stick with OnePlus. And then with this, just being so familiar with the Samsung ecosystem, things just working properly, the camera's working really well. I noticed most of the key features that I have on my flagship device, the Note 20 Ultra, or even the Samsung S20 Ultra when I owned it in the past, it's all those features are here. They haven't dumbed this down, the software at least, to a point where those key features aren't there. The features are here. Everything that you get in the camera features, you get them here. You know what I mean? There's really not much here for you not to want. Again, the charging, the plastic back, and the 6 gigabytes of RAM. So now you have to ask yourself, is 6 gigabytes of RAM enough? It is. For most people, for 90% of people, it's enough. For someone like myself that wants the best of the best at the best possible price point, this on paper is a better device. But you have to walk around with this day in and day out. And what I did notice off the bat initially, quite a few more quirks here, just smooth and just worked the way it should from day one here. So I'm going to narrowly eke the win to the Samsung S20 Fan Edition. Again, it has its problems. I'm not gonna say that it doesn't, but this just worked off the bat for most people that just want a phone, they wanna throw the SIM card in, they wanna just have it work. You're gonna get that here. This is a little bit more of a learning curve, and it has some big camera issues. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with the Fan Edition. That's my head-to-head matchup here. I know it's a very long video, I'm sorry. There's just so much to talk about. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. If you think the OnePlus 8T is a better device, if you think the Fan Edition is a better device, if you're just confused and you need some help trying to make a decision. All in all, this is better on paper with a worse camera. This is not as good on paper with less RAM and a plastic back, but a way better camera. And that's for you guys to decide what you want to do. All right, folks, that's my video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.